Vanessa Pollock from Pollock Properties Group in northern New Jersey, serving all the towns 30 to 60 minutes outside of New York City. Well, I wanted to answer some questions about how we pivoted as soon as COVID hit our region back in March. Within 72 hours, we moved our entire business to digital. And the first thing that we did from a marketing perspective was create a digital brochure for each of our listings. So we realized that we needed something touchless and informative that we could immediately get into the hands of interested buyers, because I knew the most important thing I could do was keep people safe. I needed to limit foot traffic through our listings, but keep the interest and activity and number of offers coming in still at the same rate. So we thought through, what are the most commonly asked questions that a buyer has as a follow-up to a showing? What I wanted to do was answer those questions before they even requested a showing and take the showings from 60 down to 6. Because I knew if I could answer their questions ahead of time, I'd keep the seller safe, I'd keep the client safe, I'd keep my colleagues safe, and I'd keep the community safe. So we launched digital brochures with our professional photography, our 2D floor plans. We immediately did 3D Matterport floor plans for every single listing. We then included quotes about every single room and how that room was used by the seller. We included a letter from the seller telling the buyer all about what it's like to live in that neighborhood, in that town, in that location. I then did sometimes a Zoom seller interview so that buyers could get a sense of the home from the people who currently lived in it, as well as myself. We then also put into there little details that sometimes aren't able to be put into an MLS listing, like ceiling height on the first floor, the second floor, most importantly, the basement. We put in the preferred closing date for the seller, because sometimes that's an afterthought. But if a buyer needs to buy a house in 30 days, but a seller can't move for 90, well, then I don't want them walking through that house, because that's not a match. All of those details were outlined within the digital brochure. Then, when a buyer walks into the house, we actually had no marketing. We just had one simple piece of paper put in a lucite frame with a QR code. And we asked the buyers to point their phone at that QR code, and it took them to that digital brochure so that they had a touchless marketing experience that would give them all the details again. But let's go back. Really, before they could book that showing, I had to make sure that they had reviewed all the details in that digital brochure and agreed to everything in it before coming in for the showing. Did it work? It did. At the height of COVID in April for our region, we put on a listing one weekend with the digital brochure, and we received 6 showings and 3 offers. The first offer came in sight unseen, based on the digital brochure. 2 more offers followed. We did final and best on Sunday night. That sight unseen offer was our winner, and they got the house. Now, they did come and see it in person, because I did know that all of the details really matched up with what they needed, so I allowed them in the house. They reconfirmed their love of it, they upped their offer, and can you imagine the seller feeling so safe that only 6 people had seen their home? We had a conversion rate of 50% showings to offers. They exceeded their dream make me move price, and we hit their goal. So how did we build these digital brochures? On a whole different website than what we had been using for pollockpropertiesgroup.com, because I needed a fast, user-friendly way to build them out. So ours are built out on Squarespace, and I recommend either Squarespace or Wix.com for any of these digital brochures. They're easy, they're fast, they're intuitive. You can get all that information on there, because our job is to help people achieve their real estate dreams but it's also to keep our clients, our colleagues, and our community safe while doing so. I hope this was helpful. If you have any other additional questions about how to build out a digital brochure and what should go into it, don't hesitate to reach out, and be sure you follow us on Instagram at Pollock Properties Group. See you soon.